Well, what we're doing today is announcing the biggest ever enhancement of workers' rights by a Conservative government. And yes, there are various elements to this, but we're, for example, committing that the national living wage will continue to rise in line with median earnings. Yes, that people will be able to request time off to care for a relative, and we want to support and encourage returnships. I've been today at a fantastic organisation, Tech Pixies, helping women who've been taken time out of work, looking after children, to get the skills to get back into the workplace, perhaps set up their own business. This is what we want to see more of in the future.
Frankly, the cyber attack is highway robbery against all of us. We have to have investment in our NHS to protect all the systems so we're not held to ransom by criminals who are doing us all damage and doing us all down. You stepped up to try to protect our patients. Thank you very much for what you did. Our NHS is under threat from privatisation, which was brought in by the Health and Social Care Act. The privatisation has gone on a huge scale. £13 billion of taxpayers' money handed over the last year to private companies to profit from our NHS services. And Aaron Bevan once said of the National Health Service, "It will only last as long as there are folk with faith left to fight for it."
Our estimate, based on what the government itself says, is the public sector pay bill, and applying a higher pay rate, taking account of inflation, is we're talking a cost of about £1.4 billion a year. And we believe this is necessary. Public sector pay has been squeezed in real terms after inflation. It's becoming increasingly difficult to recruit people into nursing, into beginning of the police force, into the teaching profession. And to get round that recruitment problems, we have to approach public sector pay in a more positive way.
If people vote SNP in this election, it gives me a mandate to demand that Scotland is represented in the UK negotiating team, that our interests are central to these negotiations. And that matters because jobs and living standards and investment will be affected by the outcome of these Brexit negotiations. We've seen before this election Theresa May dismiss out of hand sensible compromise proposals that the Scottish Government put forward to protect our place in the single market. But this election gives people the opportunity to give these proposals democratic legitimacy. We know that Theresa May doesn't just want to take the UK out of the EU. She seems intent on pursuing a very extreme Brexit, and that would sacrifice jobs and the Scottish economy.